Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Return of the Obra Dinn, which today we are playing on a Commodore 1084. So, in the previous episode we learned the basic mechanics of the game, we discovered the first few deaths, we sort of got through the first chapter, though there's a couple more things to do there, or I suppose the 10th chapter, and started on Chapter 7, The Doom. And today we're going to be continuing with that. It seems there's a few more deaths I think, to investigate there. Couple of things to mention before we continue on is YouTube does mess with the graphics of this a little bit. The dithering does not go well with YouTube compression, and so it does sort of ruin the output of the video. So what I would suggest to try and reduce that effect as much as possible when watching is to put the resolution settings as high as possible. So 1080p 60 is the best you can do with this. And that will make things look relatively okay, pretty close to what it actually looks like in the game. Of course, nothing will beat just playing the game for yourself, which makes it look the best by far. But if you do play it, or sorry, when you do play it, I don't know why I would say if, you may find that things don't look quite the same as they do for me right now, so I will mention that in the options menu, I've set the output to sharp. There's two other options, smooth and sharp shrink 1. Shrink 1 brings it down like to half resolution, so makes it a pretty tiny corner, tiny window in the middle of the screen. That's if you've got a older monitor, because I think there's some very specific resolutions it has to stick to make sure that the pixelated effects work right. If you select smooth, let's just actually run it. It does this. I don't know whether you'll really be able to see the effect, but I don't really like it. I like the sharper effect over this, because this makes everything look just a little bit strange to my mind. It tries to soften it, and I don't think you want to soften it, so I keep it at sharp. And yes, at the moment we're in Commodore 1084 mode. I've decided I think I'm going to switch the monitor each episode just to try out the different ones. I've had a quick look through, and like none of them affect how clear it is, how easy or difficult it is to see anything. It all just works out the same, so it's just a nice little change of theme as we go on. Yeah, the reason that there's a border around the window is because it's keeping to a very specific resolution. And if we do smooth, I think it becomes full screen, but then everything goes a little bit blurry and weird, and I don't like it. So we're sticking with this. One other thing to mention is that from now on, and from a little bit of last episode, this is a blind playthrough. I don't know what's coming. I haven't played this before. The only thing I have played before is the demo that came out a couple of years ago. And in that, you have the first 5 deaths up to Abigail. And beyond that, I've got no idea what's going on. So basically, from the moment I suddenly reappeared in Abigail's scene with the pocket watch shaking, from that point on, no idea what was going to happen. And I'm quite excited about what has happened. I was wondering how the game was going to deal with the fact that the deck started with only one body on it, because surely a lot of other people died on the deck. At one point I was thinking that maybe there was a morgue under, like, below decks that had a lot of the people that died on the deck in it, or something like that. But no, we can actually, Inception-style, find them and bring them into the actual present. So this is the most recent one that we've uncovered. And we found that in this one. In this guy over here, the tattooed one. So I'm just going to take a look at what happens here. We're going to find out a little bit more about what happened in the Doom. Oh, hello. Okay. So, is this the guy? Oh, everything's on a tilt. Oh, that's weird. Wow. Okay, this scene caught it at the... Look at the door. This scene caught the ship at quite an intense moment. So it looks like this guy... Is this a tentacle, or is this just rope, I think? Yeah, and he was, I think, throwing a powder barrel at the Kraken. Seems to have had something of an effect on it, but it looks like... Well, he doesn't look dead. Is this not the guy? Was someone killed in this explosion? Oh! Oh, there he is! He's in the middle of the explosion. he was perhaps carrying the barrel and was picked up, and at that point it exploded. Okay. And this was definitely, I'd say, an earlier point in the fight, and that looks like maybe we can go downstairs this time. Okay. So which one was this one? Part 6 of the Doom. Okay, get to the main bit quick. I'm wondering if the use of sailing terminology is an attempt to give a clue as to what role this person played on the ship to help us narrow it down. Because apparently this can get quite in depth with how the clues work for who is who. 5 others were present. Okay. There's Martin, I believe. That guy, I think, is new. The guy with the tattoos was around as well. Okay. Well, how did they die? Let's see. I wonder if it's burned. I wouldn't think that... Oh, no, exploded is an option. He was blasted by an explosion. He's only in the one memory. Okay. Right, let's hop back into the scene then. And this time, the pocket watch is not shaking, which I guess means that there's no one here who is dead. That's interesting because this is part 6 of the Doom. So 5 other people must have died before this man died, but none of them are present in this scene. So perhaps the Doom comes in 2 parts, or perhaps they're on different sections of the ship. Like right now, we are right at the front of the ship. So what I should do is take a closer look at some of these people here so we can actually find out who they are in the sketches. Okay, so that guy, he's in the Justice at Sea sketch near the back. This guy here, I wonder if we can take a look at him. We can. He's in Justice at Sea as well, next to that other guy, I think. With his arms folded. Fortunate death. He does have some night. Look at those coattails. Those are lovely. I'm assuming those are coattails. Maybe those are just his pants being blasted off in a violent explosion. How about this guy? The tattooed guy. Okay, so he's... of course he's still alive at this point because this guy's body was in this guy's death scene. So he's getting ready to fight it with a sword, seems like. And then I think... Yep, there's Martin, I think. Let's have a closer look. Is that Martin? Yes, I think that's Martin. He's coming up with guns, but of course the ship is being tipped over by the Kraken probably grabbing onto it. There's someone else further back wearing a hat in Justice at Sea. We can't go down into the deck, the scene doesn't let us. And that is everyone. There were 5 people present in the scene total, that's how many it said. And nobody dead. But there could be dead people further over this way. I mean, the Kraken's quite big. You can basically have free reign over the ship. But it does look like it started at the front and moved its way back. Because we're going backwards in the timeline here. That's, in fact, the only way we can go. I'm going to go back through the door. And here we are. So that's Death 6. We wander over here and take a look at this guy. He's Death 7 of Chapter 7. And then if we go to see Abigail, we'll find out exactly where she is in the timeline. She is Death 8, so we're going backwards step by step, but now it seems like the trail's gone cold. Interestingly. The question is, where do we go next? I think the clue will lie in Abigail's or the other guy's death. And I guess that is the only place that it can lie. There is something I forgot to do earlier, though. I'm going to consult the book. Oh, open the book while the pocket watch is open to flip directly to the relevant page. Excellent. I like it. Can I get off this? I've read it. Come on. Tab? Okay, there. We just had to tab out and get rid of that. This guy, I never actually mentioned how he died, so let's make sure to do that now. Torn apart. There we go. That is an option. Torn apart by a beast. I don't know who he is, but we know how he died. So I think that's all everything in the book up to date as much as it can. That one's complete. These ones have got the deaths, but not who they are. Apparently we can identify this person. Also, I've found out that these little icons up here are some sort of difficulty thing. So because this one's been identified, it shows us the difficulty of identifying them right now. I'm not sure whether more or less is good. It might be that there are 2 clues, or perhaps there are 2 memories. Could be 2 memories, but then I don't think that quite works. If we go to look at the captain's page... there we are. Oh, he doesn't have one because we've discovered him, so we can't check what that one is. But yeah, I would guess that the triangles, the more there are, the harder it is to find out who they are, because it's definitely not going to be easy at this point working out who this man is. We really don't have anything to go off. We've heard no one refer to him by name. The tattoos might be a clue, but I don't know how that would come into it, really. One possible thing is the name. The tattoos are strange, and so perhaps that's an indication that he's not from England, perhaps? I'm not really sure. So, actually, yeah, we'll go look at Abigail's death first, and we'll see if there's anything more happening there. And we'll see if there are indeed the branching paths that I think there will be. So, because we've seen this one before, we skip straight into it. We actually get the audio at the same time as we get the visuals, just to speed up the process. So I don't have to live through the whole thing again. So let's have a look around and see more of this scene now. We've got a guy in a hat here who's been gripped and is perhaps about to be dragged overboard. This guy here's tried stabbing it, and also there's a sword in it. I suspect that sword may actually have been put into him by the guy with the tattoos before he was killed. So he did have a valiant death. This guy over here, pulling him away. Is that Martin? That looks like it is. Yep, that is Martin. The hat is quite distinctive. So, he's stumbled back and is taking shots at it, but then when, Oh no, wait, that's Martin. Hold on. Maybe I've got this wrong. Let me take a closer look here then. He stood right by the captain. So this guy's actually someone else, the guy with the hat. They both got a beard. The beard makes it difficult. So this must be Martin, that must be somebody else. Someone high-ranking, because they've got a fancy hat. And this was the guy that was carrying the guns up before, and I think he was throwing guns around in the other scene. And then over here, we've got this guy looking very scared. He's just in the background of Justice at Sea. Then I know these 2 people, they are dancing in the Underway sketch. So I wonder where exactly Abigail came from. Probably from over here where these 2 are. They were probably telling her not to go, and she ignored them. And we know that the captain is below decks during this scene, though we can't see below decks at all. I'm wondering if there's a way to get down there somehow. Can we get up these stairs? Nope, the ocean is blocking us. And perhaps the Kraken is blocking us here? Yeah, we can't get up there. I don't see anyone up there apart from this poor guy. Let's take a closer look at him. Okay, so he's the guy we saw was revealed before. He's actually... he's no longer blurred in the picture, which is strange. If I hit tab, it lets me, jump to the book. Open the book while examining a face to flip directly to the sketch. Again, I don't know how to get rid of these. Try that again. There we go. So yeah, we get him. It's that guy who is at the wheel, which suggests that maybe... perhaps that's the clue. That makes some sense. Even while someone's being shot, someone needs to be at the wheel. Perhaps that is the guy whose job that is, and that he was perhaps at the wheel when he was grabbed and torn away from it. Maybe that is the clue. Can I look at a different page? Yes, I can get to the book. Okay. I suppose, yeah, I can't like look at his death, but if I jump to the front of the book, there was probably a quicker way to do it than that. And let's have a look at the crew manifest. And the roles. Captain, first mate, second, third. I think that said boatswain. It's very confusing. I don't know what their job is, but I can find that out. Helmsman, Finley Dalton. I think that's who that is, and I think that's why he's unblurred, because technically you can find out who he is, because both the picture and his location just before dying indicates what his role is. So I'm going to label him on the picture as helmsman. There. I think this is Finley Dalton. And have I labeled the guy that I think is Martin? Yes, that's Martin. And this guy is someone else. And we can't find out who he is yet. The one that carries the guns. They've both got hats, but this hat's slightly fancier than that hat, I would say. These are the fancier hats. You can see the like the progression of hats down from most fancy to least fancy. And even less so. Then you get to top hats. That's our progression. Okay. We've seen, I think, everything there is to see in this particular scene. And I don't see any other corpses I can find. No one else is dead in this scene. So I guess all we can do is leave. And then, let's go take a look at the guy with the tattoos. He's our only lead right now, as far as I can see. 0.7 of 8. So Abigail's was the final death in the Doom. So, yep, he managed to stab it before it killed him. He served till the very end. He did his duty and he defended the ship. But I feel like ultimately the Kraken is the one that wins this particular fight. We have the 3 people out there. I'm wondering how on earth we identify them, because this button isn't working. They're too far away. Someone tried to escape in a ship. Perhaps someone's dialogue later on will mention 3 people that have jumped overboard or something. We've got this guy here. Not sure what he's trying to do. Oh. Can I get into a position where I can see the sketch? Okay, he's playing that cards in underway. Then there's the guy with the guns, or is it this guy? Unless he's got a top hat. I think he threw the gun to him. Oh, and there's a guy here on this wheel. Who are you? Have we seen him before? I think we have. Okay. And then there's a guy with a gun here. That guy there, I think we've seen him already. Let's wander down the ship and see if we can find anything. Who's this guy? Got a top hat watching the shooting. Did we check this guy? He's watching the shooting as well. He's got a fairly distinctive stripy shirt on. Guy with a gun hiding here. And that's Martin. Okay. So he's trying to do something about this. We got anyone else? It looks like... Oh, there's one guy here with... What is that? Is that a bottle or something? Or is he going to throw some gunpowder? He's in the shooting, not looking at the shooting, weirdly. Is he talking to someone, seems like. And it looks like that's all we have. Can we go below decks this time? No, it's just about beyond our reach. And I don't see any other dead bodies, I think. Wait. Oh, hold on. Well, there's this guy. That's it, though. Someone managed to cut a tentacle off the thing. Good work. And there's one guy over here. He's still alive. Oh, yeah, that guy. We've seen him. Right. That's interesting then. I don't see any other people who are dead. Unless this guy is. He could be, actually. He might be dead. And he's got a rope around him, so he was tied to the guy that got blown up. But yeah, he might be dead. Okay, let's move through and see if it gives us the chance to look. No. Perhaps below decks has been opened up anyway? What am I missing? Oh, hold on. It has been opened up, never mind. Because it was open in the scene when the guy was coming up with the guns, and so because it was open there, it is now opened here, and we can venture below decks. Okay, where to start here? Oh, we've got a locked door here, it looks like. Another one here. Looking for any bodies. Oh. Ah, there's one. Well, I think I can already say what happened to this guy. I think he was crushed by a cannon. Case closed. Don't need a watch to work that out. And can we not get past this? Oh no, we can. We can just step over the corpse and the cannon. And yeah, this was the side that the Kraken attacked, so it's definitely done some damage. Oh, that might have been an explosion, actually. Let's see. Oh, open door here. A cannon in someone's room? Interesting design. You can't take this out of the room, it looks like, so I guess someone just has to live with this? Very strange. No sign of anybody in here. Now, this room has a particular purpose and name. In fact, they all do. It's all on the plan of the boat. And apparently that is an important aspect of working out who is who by the rooms that they've inhabited. Things like that. Continuing through. Well, we have some blood here and a knife. And yeah, there's a guy on the floor here. This is some more sleeping quarters for crew, looks like. Moving on. More sleeping quarters. No sign of anybody in here. Wow, a triple-decker bed. I mean, that's what you need on ships. Probably completely normal at the time. This one's currently shut. I wonder if that'll open later just to make it easier to walk through here. I'm always checking the beds in case there's anyone lying dead in them, because that's entirely possible. Abigail was moved to a bed after dying. No one in here. That one is locked, interesting. Specifically that one. Over here, nothing. More accommodation. Seems to be fancier stuff. High-ranking people, maybe passengers or something. And then we get to the back of the ship. Oh, a couple of hidden bits around here. They look like the toilets. Did anyone die at a very inopportune moment? Seems like they didn't. Nobody was in here at all. Makes sense. When the ship got attacked by a Kraken, they probably all moved to the guns and to everything else. Okay, let's start with the guy who was crushed by the cannon. Death number 5.
Sir, loose the cannon!
Oh. Oh, that's not fun. Hit so hard he broke the wooden poles of the ship. I don't know what they'd be called. Wooden beams? Wooden beams, there we go. Yeah, that's not a fun way to die. That probably hurts a lot. Because that's like in the neck as well, so you won't necessarily die straight away. You'll have some brief moments. Got some people out here. Don't know what they're dealing with. I think they're just like finding something to hold on to. What are they holding? What is this? We gotta find out at some point. Any doors open? Aha, this one is open. We can't actually see what's in here, but we've perhaps unlocked this room. I haven't finished looking at the scene. Oh, well, it'll let me come back again anyway. So part 5, we're moving backwards through chapter 7. 4 others were present. So we know this person died. I think crushed is probably the right word. By a cannon. And there we go. And there is another death in this scene to take a look at. Let's take a closer look at what we've got around here for now. So this guy here, who is he? Have you seen him before? Yes, we have. Got sort of distinctive hair. This guy here. Yeah, they seem like they're friends. They always seem to... Yeah, they're next to each other in the picture. Possible sign. But there's a 4th person present, apparently. There's this guy here, and there's someone behind him, isn't there? And then presumably there's 1 or 2 corpses. Oh, that looks like one. Take a look at this. That's a new one. Makes sense. He never left this place. He's in underway. And then here we go. That's Martin, right? Yeah. Yep, so Martin was down here. So we've got a chronology here of Martin moving through the ship. Yes, he was down here and he went above decks over on this end, where he encountered Abigail and told her to go back. And apparently the captain is down here, though we haven't seen him yet. There's many more decks he could be in, though. Oh. That's strange. There's more people than I expected to be in the scene. Another dead person, so it looks like we're branching here a little bit. Now let's take a look at this guy. He makes it onto the top deck. It's the guy playing cards. This guy down here, wearing a top hat by the shooters. Does he make it? I think he makes it above deck as well. Maybe he's not dead. Wait, no. Does he have a head? No, he doesn't have a head. He's definitely dead. Yep. I'm gonna say he's dead. Yep. Kraken smashes the side of the ship. That's what causes that. Guy over here looks to be crushed by a cannon as well. Can't look at this one, which makes me wonder if maybe he's dead. Or did I already look at him around here? Can't really get a good angle. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, we have seen him. I just want to check the book again. Oh, 4 others were present. So 4 and the dead guy. So there's 4 living people in this scene. And then this guy who technically is not living anymore. Right, I'm going to click this because I've discovered something new about this feature. When you click it, it starts highlighting the corpses. So there are glows. So you can see... Ah, this guy isn't dead. But that guy's dead. And so is someone over here, I think? Not quite sure. I think it's just the one over there. Maybe someone here. This seems a little bit more lit up. No. I think it's just this guy here. Who is definitely dead. Oh, look at that. That's a cool effect on the watch. Right, let's take a look. Alright. And let's follow the spirit. They really do like to just mess about, these guys, before they get to where they're trying to go. But here we are. So I guess we'll take a look at this guy's moment of death. I've got a rough idea of how this one goes. Death number 4. Oh, an explosion. So that is what caused the damage. Oh, the cannon. Ah, not quite an explosion. He actually was shot by a cannon. The moving... Ah. They just lit the cannon. The Kraken grabbed it, moved it, and it shot him. That is unfortunate. What's everyone else up to? These guys were loading it. They've all been flung backwards by the hit. Oh, here's the guy with the tattoos. I don't see Martin around right now. Perhaps he came bursting in later. Nobody over here. Let's take a closer look at him. Guy with the hat, I believe. Yep. He was watching right by the shooters in Justice at Sea. And then there's this guy down here. He looks to be in trouble. Is he not dead? He's surely dead. Perhaps he's already dead in the present and so doesn't need to be brought in as a ghost. So, part 4 of the Doom. This guy died. Let's see, I guess it's shot with a cannon. Didn't think that one wouldn't get used, I'll be honest. By... Well, that's a question. Would it be the Beast? Would that be the best way of saying it? Blasted with a cannon by a terrible beast? I suppose so. That's what we'll leave it at. And here we are, there is another dead person in this scene. Okay, let's take a look. It is this guy. There we go. Yeah, I thought he got crushed. Anyone else to see? No, this is who we've got. Okay. Let's bring him into the real world. And let's see where it goes. It doesn't go far at all, really. Yep, there we go. These ghosts have a flair for the dramatic, I must say. Yeah, so that guy got crushed by the cannon, I think just before. Like, it seems like he was crushed by the same cannon. This one's moved there since. See how the cannon shot perhaps also hit this then? Blasted through here. I wonder if we can see the cannonball if we look back in here. Actually, no, it looks like it ended up going out of the ship in the end. Oh, got stuck a bit there. What was that other corpse again? Where did we find that? It was in here. I think this might be a completely different chapter. And while we are in the middle of working out the storm right now, the Doom even, I'm curious what happens if I look at this one. I'm wondering if this is completely separate from everything else that has happened so far. So for our last scene for today, let's take a sneak peek at perhaps the past? Even further into the past? Yep, that's a different chapter.
Oh no, you're cut.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Tell Pete's mother I tried my best
Aye.
to pull him back, to save him.
You tell her yourself. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit.
And then he dies. Yep, this is a different chapter. And there was a lot more blood at that point. Yep, something definitely happened here. He said, tell Pete's mother I tried my best, so I think one of these dead people must be Pete. And the other perhaps the person who killed him? And then this man tried to kill that one? Who is this guy with a club? Did he come to find out what was going on? There's a lot of people bursting in after what seems to have been some sort of fight broke out. This guy's Scottish, and somewhere nearby there's a man called Brennan. He might be the surgeon, or he might just be someone who is present in the scene. But this is another chapter entirely. I think this was chapter 9. The last one before the attack on the captain, perhaps? Chapter 9, Escape. The second to last chapter. in the midshipman cabin. 3 others present. And then 2 more dead people as well. They died. I wonder if bled to death might be an option, but I'm guessing that he was... Well, actually, I don't know if he was knifed or killed by a sword. There's any number of ways he could have been bleeding. Let me check what was said. Did he say he was knifed? You're cut. That narrows it down to sword and knife. If I go back into the scene, I can take a closer look at what weapons are present, and I'm going to guess it's a knife, but I could be wrong. Got a man called Brennan, a man called Pete. A man called Pete is dead. Okay, I pressed the wrong button, so we're back here. And of course, there are other dead people in this scene. So let's bring one of them back. There's only actually the one option. I can't bring back this guy, it seems. It might be deliberately giving me an order. Perhaps it always takes me to the previous death in the chain. This is the last man to die before he does, in which case I guess this is Pete, and this is the man who killed him, and then this man was killed by the one who we've just seen bleed out. But let's bring him into the present. I'll go through the door, hold on. Thanks for waiting for me. Oh, there you are. And here you are. And there's no murder weapons on the ground here, which suggests that the place was cleared away afterwards. This was only the second to last chapter though, so it can't have been long between... Ah! There's a knife here, that could be what he was stabbed with then. Or it could be a knife that he was carrying. Seems like he fought back, probably. He said he tried his best. Makes it sound to me like he was doing something. Also, based on the name of the chapter being The Escape and the image for it being a rowboat, my suspicion is that this incident happens, some people are murdered, and then the remaining people below deck here decide to just leave. Just get in a boat and go. Leaving only the captain and 3 crew members who want him dead. And that's where the story ends. But that is where we're going to leave it for today. Very intrigued as to what happened here. Some sort of fight. And also, I'm still wondering, because I keep spotting it, so I'm wandering around, what is that light? Does that mean something out there? It's definitely distinctive. And it's absolutely not clear what it is, so I'm definitely curious as to whether it's got some sort of relevance, or if it's just a strange effect. I feel like everything is important in this game, it seems like. So I can't help but think that that's got something going on with it. But that's where we're going to leave it for today. Next episode, we'll have more of a look at the Doom, I think, see if we can get all of the deaths covered in that and start filling in more of it. And then we'll have a closer look at what happens in the escape and exactly what happened over here. Some sort of fight. Hard to say exactly what, but we shall surely see, and then the task will be working out exactly who was who. But with that, I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.